Okay, today's lesson is number 16 and it's the Netherlands. The Netherlands is a beautiful country known for its windmills, dikes, tulips, and wooden shoes. To get there from Denmark, we have to travel back through Germany on a train or take a plane over the North Sea. Another way we could explore this corner of the world would be to take a cruise that lands in different parts on the North Sea. Wouldn't that be an adventure? While traveling in the Netherlands, you will likely encounter some things that are unique to this beautiful nation. You may have the privilege to hear the oldest national anthem in the world. The national anthem of the Netherlands is called the Wilhelmus. Its words and music were originally composed in the 16th century and even uses an old word for the Netherlands, Dutch, Diets Bloed. You may also notice that the Dutch company are very tall. The Dutch people are very tall. The men of the Netherlands are ranked the tallest in the world, with the women coming in a second tallest in the world. If you aren't a tall person, be prepared to feel extra short when visiting the Netherlands. The population is 170 or 17.1 million. The government type is constitutional monarchy, parliamentary representative, democracy, and decentralized unitarian state. The size of the country is 16,039 miles. The capital city is Amsterdam. The official language is Dutch. The landmark is the windmills of Kinderdijk. Land and plants. The Netherlands is the lowest country in Europe, with 26% of the country's land below sea level. The Dutch people are famous for their windmills and dikes. A dike is just a man-made wall or bank made for the purpose of holding back the water of the sea, all part of the country's immense water management system to keep their precious land from being taken over by the wild strength of the North Sea. Over half the land in the Netherlands is prone to floods, so these creative people have come up with unique solutions for this challenge. Over the past 1,000 years, the Dutch people have continued to learn about and improve the way they manage their water. They have a nationwide system of canals that collect and drain water back into the North Sea, as well as large dikes to hold the sea at bay in case there is a surge of water. There are some places that dikes have not been necessary because sand dunes with vegetation growing on them do the job of holding back the water. The Dutch have been careful to protect and restore these natural structures, knowing that they are important for the safety of their land. The most recognizable plant of the Netherlands is the tulip. Although tulips were originally brought to the Netherlands from Turkey, they have become something of a national symbol. Their delightful flowers were well accepted from the start and have become an integral part of the culture. During the final winter of World War II, the Dutch people even discovered that tulip bulbs can be eaten. The country celebrates National Tulip Day every year on the third Saturday of January, the official start of the tulip season in the Netherlands. The tulip is a member of the lily family and is grown from a bulb rather than a seed. It is a perennial flower, meaning it sprouts every spring, blooms, and then dies back until the next year when it grows again. The famous landmark is the windmills are the most commonly known landmarks in the Netherlands. Perhaps that is because the windmills of Kinderdijk are one of the most frequently photographed places in the Netherlands. But what do these windmills do? Why are they there? Well, the Netherlands is well known for its wetlands and frequent danger of flooding. As a result, they have become masters of preventing floods. The 19 beautiful windmills at Kinderdijk were built around 1740 as part of the flooding prevention system. Although the Dutch did not invent the first windmill, they are the ones who began using them to a greater potential than any other nation. These windmills of Kinderdijk were made to harness the power of the wind to move extra water off the land and back into the sea. Food. A trip to the Netherlands is not complete without some amazing food. Let's check out the menu in the Netherlands. Have you ever had a piece of toast for breakfast and thought, I should put some sprinkles on that? If you have, you probably have Dutch heritage or friends. Hagelslag is the Dutch name for these sprinkles that are often even eaten on toast. The Dutch are also famous for being one of the largest exporters of cheese in the world. Gouda cheese is one of the most famous cheeses that come from the Netherlands. If you like cheese, you have to try this delicious variety. A typical Dutch winter comfort food is a dish called boerkool, met rookworst. That's a hard one. This meal consists of mashed potatoes with bacon and kale, served with gravy and sausage. Most Dutch families end each year with a delicious batch of oliebollen. The literal translation of oliebollen is a grease ball. And the closest thing you can buy in a store would be a Dutchy donut. But these deep-fried yeasty dough balls studded with raisins make a donut from a store pale in comparison. Eat them fresh from the fryer and rolled in powdered sugar, or save some for later. The choice is yours. The Netherlands is well known for their commitment to reducing pollution in their transportation solutions. The Dutch government is hoping to have the sale of diesel and gas-powered cars banned by 2025. You may think that doesn't sound very possible, but the Dutch already have some unique modes of transportation that don't require fuels like gas or diesel. The Bakfiets is a Dutch transportation invention that resembles a bike combined with a wheelbarrow. These are used for anything from taking little children to school or even moving to a different home. The average Dutch person bikes 1.8 miles each day, and there are more bikes in the Netherlands than there are people. History and culture. The Dutch are known for their unique traditional clothing. The wooden clog is known the world over as a symbol of the Dutch culture. These shoes, called kloppen, were actually worn in more countries than just the Netherlands. But they are particularly useful for keeping your feet dry in the marshy, wet areas. Since much of the Dutch countryside is covered in this type of landscape, these shoes were extremely popular with the Dutch people that lived out of the city. They are, in fact, still worn by some farmers in these areas today. The trick to wearing these shoes and having dry feet is to wear thick, homemade woolen socks made by a Dutch farmer's wife. The Dutch people are truly a welcoming people that have created a culture that is a delight to visit, and many visitors come to make the Netherlands their home. About 1 in 5 people that live in the Netherlands are not Dutch by birth. This creates a unique culture that is constantly changing to adapt to different cultures, influences that it encounters. The Netherlands also boasts a strong and proficiency in the English language, with 9 out of 10 Dutch people speaking English as their second language. Perhaps that is also part of what makes this country so accessible to so many foreigners. And that concludes our lesson 16 on the Netherlands.